Hello, my name is Leslie Williams, and I'm here to talk about the relationship between grandparents and grandchildren and all the effects that it comes with that. So, the general purpose of this speech is to inform the audience about differences in grandparent grandchild relationships compared to child and parent relationships. The specific purpose is to demonstrate the grandparents typically display greater love and patience with their grandchildren than they did with their children as they were parents. My central idea is that grandparents tend to spoil, actively engage with, and have more tolerance for their grandkids as opposed to when they were busy disciplining and being a parent themselves. When my niece Melanie was younger, she asked for a cookie before dinner, and Grandma not only gave her one, but she gave her two. And when I was younger, we would never have gotten away with that. The funniest part is that my children also get by with that kind of stuff with Grandma. I noticed that parents and grandparents have a different relationship as well as kids and grandparents. They treat them differently and they behave with their kids differently than they do with their grandparents. And I have a little bit of proof. I have a picture of my mom with my two kids. She is giving them sweets before dinner. So this is kind of the proof. As someone who struggled with a relationship with her mother, it's really nice to see that relationship between my kids and their grandma, and I really appreciate that bond. Today I'm going to walk through specific factors that are responsible for the love and care that grandparents shower on their grandchildren as compared to their children. And then secondly, I would like to discuss the reasoning on raising responsible kid was a priority before, but now it's not so much stress and they have more time and resources to create those treasured memories. And lastly, after everything, I would like to talk about the research and family dynamics on observing relationships between kids and parents. I've found distinct differences in generosity, focus, and temperament between grandparents and parents and children. So first, let's explore the factors are responsible for intergenerational relationships. What are some key factors that are responsible for those relationships? Burktis says grandparents are more likely to spoil their grandchildren with presents, sweets, and privileges as they were with their children. Whenever my children, niece, and nephew are grandmas, she is the one to treat them with ice cream before dinner, let them stay up late and watch movies, and come back with new toys or outfits that she just could not resist in buying for them. She was far less strict about manners, bedtimes, and enforcing rules when my siblings and I were younger. Lowe and Lindsay observed that grandparents do not feel as responsible for discipline and authority as they did during their parenting days. According to Ennis, most grandparents now utilize their additional free time, savings, and perspective to enjoy indulging and bonding with their grandchildren through the relaxation of rules and generous gifting. Now that we have a basic understanding of some key factors of loving relationship between grandparents and grandchildren, let's talk about some reasons on why many think that what used to be a priority is now nothing more than just fun and free time. So we're going to discuss some reasoning on why what used to be raising responsible kids is, a priority before, but now it's just treasure memories and having fun. Unlike the busy days of parenting, grandparents now make time to actively visit and care for their grandchildren. When my children were babies, my mom helped out tremendously. She was there, she helped out quite a bit. However, as grandparents, she now sees the kids every week. She's always asking for overnight stays. She wants those extra time. Rather than simply ensuring the necessities are met and engaging in many activities, she's now reading books, going to activities, doing arts, baking, the little fun stuff that sometimes parents are too stressed to have that time with. And she even sits through those, really long sporting tournaments. Barkarnen states that the advantage of elders is that they have more flexibility in times. As they are still young at heart, this makes them treasure their time with family. I truly believe that, without the full demands of parenthood, grandparents can solely focus on forging those relationships and getting attention and building those bonds and being present with the grandkids as they grow, so they grow those memories as well. Shorey found that this is a second chance in nurturing young ones, often fulfills grandparents in a positive way. So now that we've talked about some reasoning on grandparents, on why grandparents have different priorities than they used to, let's talk about the research and family dynamics and how relationships have changed throughout the years. I see my mother with my children and how her patience level has changed completely from when I was younger. My parents would always hurry during a messy art project. They were clueless of why that noisy toy was still in the hallway. They would tend to, I guess the word is snap, for the littlest things. On the other hand, now I hear them laughing over the messiest things and the baking and the goofy stuff, and it's not seem much as a problem as it was before. The paint splatters are everywhere, and the kids are doing projects, and it's not as much of a problem as it was when I was younger. But not having to be a full-time parent, grandparents can spend that time with their grandkids without less the stress as they did when they were kids. My mother admits she panicked over every high fever, every broken rule for me and my siblings. Now she remains calm and comforting. According to Cripps, without all the pressures in providing for and completely disciplining children, grandparents have more energy and tolerance to gently guide while reveling in their beloved grandkids. Grandparents spoil their kids with more than showering with gifts, bending rules, and enforce strictly with their children throughout all the stresses and responsibilities of primary parenting. Understanding the difference and highlights of intergenerational relationship brings value to families. Thank you for listening.